What's up, everyone? This is Kronos, aka Adam, back with another AEW Week in Review. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Social media is down there. What I like to do, as always, go over everything that happened in AEW programming this week from BTE Dark and Dynamite. So there was a lot that went on. Pretty brutal match between Brodie Lee and Cody Rhodes, and some other cool things that went down. So we're just going to jump right into it. So we're going to start out with BTE. The title of the episode was Just Kenny Omega. So we get Cole as Nakazawa. This is kind of funny because Nakazawa was supposedly, trying. Cole Cabana was off camera doing the voice. It didn't look very good, but that's the point. So Seidel confronts him about their match on Dark because obviously, as you remember, Nakazawa was the one who supposedly put oil on the corner, the turnbuckle for Seidel to slip on and almost break his neck. So he's pissed off. He thinks he's about to fight Nakazawa. Colt says, no, it's me. He asks him for something only Colt would know. And Colt tells him a story. He's like, oh my God, yeah, I can't believe that's you. What happened? So then he comes off and the real Nakazawa comes out. And Seidel still thinks it's Colt and then realizes it's not Colt, it's actually Nakazawa, and threatens to kill him and break his neck. Nakazawa threatens to use his Mr. Sacco. I don't know if he said Sacco or Sacco just because of his accent with the thong. So we get Silver and Five are doing recruiting. Five says he has Sammy, he's ready to join. And he's like, I bring in you, Silver, because you know how to talk to the kids. And Silver's like, yeah, because I'm 29. And so he starts trying to act like, yo, what's up? It's really funny. And every time Five tries to do something, it looks completely ridiculous. And then Silver pulls him aside and does his own Brodie Lee impression. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You're ruining everything. I hate you. So eventually Sammy says, you hang around a bunch of fucking losers. If not, I would have joined. So then he absolutely flips out on Five, which was really funny. So we get Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Tay Conti at the bar again. Marco keeps interrupting Luchasaurus. It looks as if he's trying to almost spit game to Nara, Tay. But he's the bartender. Eddie Kingston's in the background, just creeping over, just going what the hell's going on here. Eventually Luchasaurus says he actually wants Tanara Conti to join Jurassic Express. Then Anna Joy comes in, pulls her away, calls Luchasaurus grandpa, says, get out of here, whatever, and just brings her away. We get Matt in the EVP room. Nick is there. Finally, he's back, saying that the fans want the vlogs. So they start doing a lame vlog because they think, oh yeah, this is what the people want, even though it doesn't seem like this is what they want, or they actually want to do it. Cutler comes in, says he came into some money, and he has a surprise for them. Opens up the sack, and it's a really, really sweet looking BTE title. Obviously Matt says, oh, there's so many belts in wrestling, but Cutler says, no, this will be different. Says this belt will be defended in any type of competition, which is really cool. It's a little different than the 24/7 where it's, that is just basically defended 24/7. This can be defended in any way possible. He leaves it for the Bucks to say, you guys get to decide how it's going to be determined, the first champion of it, which is really cool. I hope they actually decide to do this and bring this into the mainstream, because I think that would actually be cool and interesting and kind of obviously they're a little more of the levity and BTE, but a little more serious on Dark and Dynamite, so I think this would be pretty cool. We got Abraham Mendez doing the Me Phone 2. Okay, yeah, it was just one of the skits like that, and they're just doing a second Me Phone, and the Me Phone X or whatever. Dark Order's cheering 10 on at the bench press. John Silver's just like, look at those tits, I'm thirsty, Johnny thirsty. Brodie comes in, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, no, just Johnny was thirsty. So he says, put another plate on, calls 99 in, and for her to do a bench press, obviously they assist her because the camera pans in, and calls 10 a little bitch. She then tells Uno to do it. They all walk away, and then you just hear him screaming in the background trying to bench press it. Matt's looking at his phone. We then get a shot of the text thread from him and Tony Khan. It starts off good, where Tony Khan's putting them over, then kind of mad about him super kicking people. He says he PayPal'd him $50,000 because in advance because things are about to get crazy, and then we get a montage of the Bucks super kicking people like from PWG and some other places, mostly authority figures or people. I think they do it to a kid at one point. People that we used to see in BTE out in Japan, and then Tony Khan says, "For fuck's sake." We then get back to Dynamite when Excalibur announced the members of the tournament. Eventually, we get a montage. It freeze frames on when the moment when what's his name? Oh my god, Paige hears of Kenny's involved in it, and it's all the announcers. Then a montage of them going, just Kenny, it's just Kenny Omega, no tag team here, just Kenny. Just kind of like rubbing salt in the wound. Cutler goes to the outside of Daly's place, confronts Hangman, says, hey, I didn't know anything about this. He's really sorry about everything, especially, all the attempts that failed to try and get them together. Cutler's, Hangman saying it's over. They're all pieces of shit. He's a piece of shit. Cutler says the Bucks, are not a piece of shit. He goes, yeah. He's like, what have they ever done to you? And he says they came out to, support him. And Hangman goes off on some drunken rant about, hey, did it make a difference? Did they come out with you, or were they just in the crowd? Why don't you ask them to come out with you and see what happens? Cutler says, they'll definitely second him next time. Hangman says, you know what, I gotta go blow up some scene and ride on the back of a pickup truck and throw some, I think he said watermelons. He says, do you want him to join? Cutler eventually, I guess reluctantly joins him. So that is BTE for the week. Some pretty fun stuff. Obviously, they're furthering this beef with Hangman. Obviously, the Nakazawa Colt Cabana thing is a little ridiculous, but it is what it is. All right, so we get to Dark. So we start out. Ricky Starks is on commentary. This is kind of bothering me. I think it's kind of a little lopsided here. That might be a little better. Yep. Starks is on commentary. So then we get Kenzie Page versus Brandy Rhodes. Dustin's out with Brandy this time. Kenzie's showing aggression, trying to use Brandy's anger against her because obviously she's probably, still pissed about the loss to Anna Jay. Brandy does a drop down punch, then a stunner, pump kick, and a shot of Brandy for the pump kick, which is called the shot of Brandy for the win. Anna Jay attacks, but Red Velvet comes out to her aid. I guess they're not even mentioning Allie anymore. I don't know what the deal is at this point because obviously ever since they mentioned Blade getting his house in order, she hasn't been involved with QT when QT's by himself or the Nightmare Family. I mean, now that Red Velvet has been helping out Brandy, it just seems like that's what's going on. And I realized I didn't silence my cell phone, but nothing happened for a change. So then we get Jurassic Express versus Ray Rojas and Eric Watts. Pretty standard Jurassic Express match. Obviously, hot tag to Luchasaurus, chokeslam, standing moonsault combo on Rosas. Watts is a pretty big dude. He has a kind of a standoff with Luchasaurus. Eventually, they hit the Casadora cutter combo on Rosas for the win. I think Jurassic Express took a little more heat than I expected in this match, but that's fine. We get a Jericho and Luther video package about their relationship over the years, and since they're going to be in the main event of Dynamite with the tag match. Anthony Bowens and Lee Johnson versus Chaos Project. Anthony Bowens, I think, has been pretty touted on the independents. I think he might have had a short stint in NXT also. Chaos Project controlling Johnson most of the match. Bowens with the reverse fireman's carry slam on Serpentico, which was pretty impressive for a 2 count. Eventually, they hit the assisted Meteora on Bowens for the win. We get Will Hobbs versus Ryzen. Pretty much a squash match. Spinebuster by Will Hobbs for the win. Keeping him pretty strong. We get a Kingston promo on Janela and Kiss. They take everything as a joke. They're not going to be joking against the Lucha Brothers later. We had Silver versus QT. Silver apparently gets the permission now to no longer wear the mask in a match if he doesn't want to. No Allie. No mention of Allie. Taz says Lee, give him permission about the mask because of his help with Orange Cassidy. So that's, kind of long-term story booking, kind of, consistency. So Uno grabs the ankle, which gives enough time for Silver to take advantage on the outside. QT tries to counter. It kicks. Silver rolls through into a crossface. QT gets to the ropes. We get a superplex by QT Marshall. QT took too long to celebrate. Uno with another distraction. We get a snap German release, a super kick, and a variation backstabber by Silver for a 2 count. The backbreaker flatline combo by QT. Uno and Dustin start fighting on the apron. QT takes out the entire Dark Order, but unfortunately doesn't have enough to get Silver with this Fireman's Carry Blue Thunder Bomb, like spinning thing for the win. Really impressive, especially because he's just so compact and so strong. Also, I just love John Silver because he's the man. So we get Cesar Bononi and David Ali versus Griff Garrison, Brian Pillman. Bononi is clearly the power advantage of all four. Pillman taking heat for most of the match. Ali gets long darted into Bononi by Griff Garrison. We get a Casadora facebuster on Ali by Griff Garrison. Clothesline powerbomb combo on Ali for the win. This is actually their first win. The, I guess, new Hollywood Blondes, I guess they want to call themselves, or eventually they will. So good for them. Obviously, Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman have been pretty much staples of Dark and some of Dynamite, even BTE. So, I'm happy for them that they got the win here. Skylar Moore versus Big Swole. Big Swole is currently ranked number 2. Moore took an early advantage, but Swole never let up. Eventually hits the Dirty Dancing, minus the ripcord part of it for the win. We get a Seidel promo. It talks about his slip, blames Nakazawa, obviously keeping consistent with BTE, and then he's going to take him out. We get Seidel versus Nakazawa. Nakazawa already is putting oil on the turnbuckle. We get a question mark kick, and then he goes for the shooting star press, but then he realizes there's oil there, so he wipes off the turnbuckle. Nakazawa gets up and sprays more oil on him, makes him slip. Nakazawa hits an Olympic slam for a 2 count. He goes for the thong right away, gets the thong on him, but Seidel is able to do a leg sweep into a crossface, and then uses the thong as part of the crossface for the submission win. It's pretty grimy, the thong then. The thong. So we had Kingston versus Mbadu. Nasty chops by Kingston. We get the back fist, but Kingston pulls off the pin, goes from the Kimura lock, and gets the tap out win. He does a post-match promo. He says, leave the hard cam on me because he doesn't care about any of these marks. Says he's going to put Mox in the Kimura lock, and he will scream, I quit. You're only in this business to be a world champion, and he's going to mess Mox up and have fun doing it because you're a little bitch, Mox. So, Kingston's just the best. Janela Kiss promo, so they have no fear. Obviously, talking about Pentagon's saying, like Kiss's ass, they will bounce back from their last loss. We get Sean Dean versus Angelico. Submission and Evans. We get a submission and Evans pulling the ropes, trying to make sure that Sean Dean can't grab the ropes. We get a wild stiff shot from Dean that takes Angelico out. Eventually, Angelico hits this reverse figure 4 for the submission win. I mean, he's just great. I love his moveset. I think that Navajo style, I think Excalibur likes to call it. And then we get our main event, Lucha Brothers versus Janela and Kiss. We get a double suicide dive by Janela and Kiss to start, then a double Tope Con Hero by Phoenix. Just a regular Tope Con Hero by Phoenix to take everyone out, even his brother. We get a diving missile drop kick to the balls of Janela by Pentagon. Casadora assisted splash by on Janela for a 2 count. Hot tag to Kiss. Hits a 450 on Pentagon. Phoenix breaks up the pin. We get the rolling cutter by Phoenix on Janela. Super kick to Kiss. And then assisted package pile driver on Janela for the win. So Lucha Brothers get the win here for that faction. Janela and Kiss do not bounce back like Janela like Kiss's ass. But yeah, so pretty decent match there. I was happy that Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman got their first match. That was pretty cool. Still no mention of Ali. I'm interested to see there. Silver is now undefeated in singles competition, which I think is awesome. And that is Dark. So now we're jumping right into Dynamite. So we get videos of roster members talking about Jericho, about especially the younger guys, about how he he influenced them and how he's such a big part of AEW and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. So we get the shot at Dynamite. Miro and Kip are playing an arcade game in the crowd. Taz and Starks are both on commentary for the first match, the FTW title, Brian Cage versus Will Hobbs. So it's the first time this title has been defended in 21 years. Absolute hoss battle. Hobbs with a fun splash for a 2 count. Cage hits a standing moonsault for a 2 count. He's just impressive. Desperation back body drop by Hobbs. A snap power slam by Hobbs for a 2 count. Sit out slam by Hobbs for a 2 count. Pump handle face buster by Cage. Hits an F5, but only gets a 2 count. Both with German releases. They're both no-selling it on each other. Spine buster by Hobbs only gets a 2 count. Hobbs then, like in frustration, doesn't know what to do, goes up to the top where something he doesn't normally do, goes for a frog splash, misses that. He took too much time. Eventually, Cage puts him in the drill claw for the win. So Ricky comes out to the ring. Taz gets on the mic, calling out Hobbs, says, we're going to play the option game. Option 1, you join Team Taz because I've been pressed by you, or you get your ass kicked. Darby's music hits. He comes out. They leave. Taz calls him out, which I thought was a little weird because there was it looked weird because Darby comes out and they like kind of like just sauntered away. It didn't look like they were like scared or anything. It almost looked like Darby thought they were gonna run, but they didn't. So it was kind of weird. I thought for a second that Will Hobbs was gonna turn on Darby. I thought that would have been pretty interesting, a little wrinkle, especially because these matches keep getting these feuds and programs keep getting derailed. Obviously, they were supposed to have Lance Archer in the 6-man tag. He obviously, I believe, tested positive for coronavirus, or someone in his direct vicinity did, and he had to quarantine, whatever it was. But these things just keep getting interrupted. So I thought that would have been a little interesting. But I mean, I do like Will Hobbs' story. Obviously, his brother being killed, shielding him from gunfire, and something they always wanted to do together was be in the ring, and he was wanting to be his manager. So I do understand that maybe they want to keep him, keep that story going and keep him face for that, or maybe they just have something else. So we get videos like cameos for people talking about Jericho / Dennis Miller. Tanahashi, the ace, which I thought was pretty cool. His dad, obviously, and then Bully Ray just drinking a little bit of the bubbly. We had an Archer video package, which was pretty good. Calls out, their New Japan match, the death match that they had for the U.S. title, which, what's his name, Mox actually won. Says those other matches will have nothing on him, and he's going to win, obviously. We then get a Brush with Greatness, AEW tag match, FTR versus TH2. I've always said that TH2 was great. I think they are awesome. We get the Bucks watching their FTR entrance from the side. I think that was mocking WWE in the way people watch TVs. JR suggests suspension of the Bucks since the fines don't work. Evans with the quick roll-ups on Dax. We get FTR threatens to leave. They both dive out and take them out. Tully with the distraction so Cash can trip up Evans on the outside. Evans drops a knee gets dropped knee first on the barricade, so he's selling his knee for the rest of the match. Cash with the figure 4 around the post. Evans is taking heat during picture-in-picture. We get a dragon screw and then a single leg crab by Dax on Evans. Eventually he gets the hot tag to Angelico. He has this really double innovative submission on FTR. Kind of has like one in like a grapevine or something. I don't know what it was, but it was really cool. Assisted 450 on Cash for a 2 count. German into a dragon suplex on Evans. Angelico breaks the count. A botched Phoenix splash, leg drop, then does a moonsault to recover. That's Evans. He kind of just completely whiffs. Cash with the gory special driver sends Angelico into the apron. We get an axe kick, lariat, and then a tiger driver on Evans for a 2 count. Superplex and then a splash combo on Evans for the win. So the Bucks super kick the cameraman who's watching them backstage. Neither of them have money, so they can't even pay the fine there. FTR are like watching on the Tron. All of a sudden, there's a kind of a, what do you call it? Like a GIF or whatever of them being dressed up as wieners. They're being superposed into people as wieners. Best Friends music comes out. They even have T-shirts made up for it, which I think is pretty funny. They said that they just found Tony Khan backstage. They're going to get their title shot next week on the anniversary show. FTR try to take their shot. Best Friends get the upper hand. And then they hold the titles up and then give them back to FTR. So basically, they're definitely not winning now. They just mushed it. We had an MJF video for Jericho. Says there was a story about Double or Nothing when Jericho came up to him and says, "You got something." He's like, but constantly, take take little things from people that you admire, and then he kind of poked him in the chest. What's his name? MJF says he poked Jericho in the chest, and they laughed about it. We get some more videos. We get Shaq, Gene Simmons, Don Callis, which I thought was interesting, from Impact, Lars Ulrich from Metallica, and DDP. We then get an absolutely ridiculously brutal TNT title dog collar match from Brodie, Lee, and Cody. So Cody with Arn and Brandy, Lee with Anna Jane Silvers holding the collar. Greg Valentine's in the audience, to call out the match between him and the famous dog collar match between him and Roddy Piper. So Cody with a cheap shot to Silver. Silver's already busted open. I already put in my notes. He's the best. Silver's is forced to take a seat by Lee, and then Lee dodges Cody, who takes out Silver in the chair. Silver just gets the shit beaten out of him. Lee tells Anna to get Silver out of there. Cody's busted open at this point. Lee gets crotched, and then an assisted leg sweep. We get with the collar. Cody pulls Lee into a cutter from the apron. He yanks the chain, which then causes Lee to dive. Excuse me. It's pretty cool. Cody with a package pile driver off the apron through the table, which that happened during picture-in-picture, which I thought was crazy. Brodie Lee gets busted open now. Cody takes control, whipping the Lee in the back. Lee with a black hole slam for a 2 count. Lee throws a chair at Arn. Then Reynolds comes out, gets hit with a spine buster by Arn. Lee hits him with the chain in the gut. Arn goes to the outside. We get a moonsault by Cody for a 2 count. Crossroads, but Lee kicks out at once. That was actually pretty cool. Super kick and a powerbomb by Lee for a 2 count. We get a superplex by Lee, a release dragon suplex, and then I actually put in this match really needed a crowd at this point, because people would just be going ape shit for this. Cody with the final cut wraps the chain around Lee's face, and then hits a crossroads for the win. Brandy and Dustin come out, and then the Dark Order come out, and you can see that they're just in shock. They don't know what to do. They somehow get Lee out, and then Tony goes in the ring for an interview. So obviously this is pretty good. Cody says, even though he changed his hair, everyone was expecting him to go a different way. He's sticking with the fans. Basically, you thought I was going to go heel. I'm still going to be a face. And he wants to defend it next week. But Tony goes, who are you going to defend it against? And then out from the tunnel comes Orange Cassidy. Gives him the thumbs up. Cody replies with a thumbs up. So Orange Cassidy gets another TNT title shot. I love Orange Cassidy. I don't really understand this one, because obviously he's not going to win it. And if they hot shot it from Cody to him, that just seems weird. And Orange Cassidy got his TNT title shot, and he lost. So we then get an announcement of the AEW title tournament. 3 more people are announced, so we'll have 6 of the 8 confirmed. We get Wardlow, Colt Cabana, and obviously Hangman. So Marvez is backstage with Kenny. Says he feels good to get back to singles after the after the title run and go after a title. Says he's won every tournament that he's ever been in. You put me in a tournament, whether it's a new tournament or an established tournament, I'll win it. And he several times calls Hangman a tag team wrestler. Obviously there's going to be, we know where this is going. Whoever the 2 last are, we know it's going to be Hangman and Kenny in the finals. At the very least, they meet in the semifinals, and then maybe one causes the other to lose or something like that. I don't know. And it does seem like they are going to have the title tournament final at at Full Gear, I think it is, and then what do you call it? The title match would be later on in the pay-per-view. I think that's how they're going to do that. That's going to be interesting. Swole versus Serena Deeb. Serena more technically sound, but Swole has the power advantage. Serena in control during picture-in-picture. We get a big headbutt by Swole for a 2 count. Swole goes for the outside to in cutter, but countered into a backstabber for a 2 count. Eventually, she hits Dirty Dancing for the win. Oh, actually, she hit without the ripcord on this one. In her match on Dark, she did hit the ripcord. That was in my mind, so maybe I thought I forgot to put without the ripcord on Dark, but she actually used the ripcord there. This one she didn't. It was just the spinning lariat. Rolling forearm smash for the win. So we get a Mox video package. This was actually well done. Says he has no time to celebrate because he's always being challenged one after another. People are coming after him. But he's in a bar, with one shot there. He talks about the match with Archer as well, saying, you know what, eventually his number is going to get called. He's going to lose. But until then, he's just going to keep fighting. And he said, like Archer says, everybody dies, takes his shot. I thought this was really, really good. Next week, we find out there's some programming notes. We get the AEW title match, Mox versus Archer. Tag team title match is FTR versus Best Friends. Miro and Kip will be in action. And we get the TNT title match, Cody versus Cassidy. This is obviously the anniversary show. I do believe we get some more matches announced as well. I think... let's see here. I do think we also find out that Swole is going to get the match against Shida. I think I saw that on social media. So basically, I think all titles are going to be defended. Maybe the BTE title too. That would be cool. Anyway, so our main event, Jericho and Hager versus Luther and Serpentico. So we get some more videos first. Lance Storm, Kevin Smith, Eli Roth, Gabriel Iglesias with Chavo Guerrero, who's also zooming in, which I thought was pretty cool. Steel Panther, Ultimo Dragon, and then another member of KISS, Paul Stanley. So in the ring, Jericho wants Luther, Hager take control. Jericho and Hager take control during picture-in-picture. Serpentico is dropped over the top onto the inner circle. Luther takes too long to hit the rolling senton from the top to the outside. That just looked ugly. Luther with a knee drop from the top on Jericho for a 2 count. Luther's very sloppy at this point. I mean, he's just, he's an older guy. He's got all these death matches under his belt. Luther catches the bat, uses it. Jericho kicks out. Sammy with the distraction. Juice effect on Luther for the win. Jericho took a lot of heat in this match, more so than I thought he would. Jericho gets on the mic. MJF comes out. Asks for his music to get cut because this is not about him. He's not here to steal the spotlight. He respects Jericho, wants to be part of the celebration. He's got somebody underneath like a cloth or something like that. You could tell it's a clown by the shoes. So then Wardlow pulls it off, reveals it's Klanico with a gift. So he also said, don't worry, I'm going to get Sammy his jacket, and I'll make an announcement next week that he wants Jericho to be there. So he then says to unwrap the gift. It's a picture of himself, MJF, to Jericho. So he then breaks it over the head of the clown and then hits him with one of the most absolutely brutal Judas effects. Just knocks the shit out of the clown. Says, I hate clowns and never interrupt me again. And then they go face to face and you think it's going to be a beef. And then they go, you almost gotcha. So then the heel locker room comes out to celebrate. And then we have the credits roll, and apparently Jericho did everything, kind of like my bogus credits at the end of my podcast. And there you have it. That is the end of Dynamite. That's the end of my weekend review. As always, I like to do my match of the week. This week, obviously, it's the dog collar match for the TNT title, Brodie Lee versus Cody. In a way, I almost wanted Brodie Lee to keep the title because it's like, okay, what are we doing with Cody? Like, come on. I know he can't challenge for the AEW title at this point, but Brodie Lee was just on such a run on BTE, on Dynamite. I mean, what are we doing here? Are we going to get him back the title? Is it going to go to Orange Cassidy? Like, that was a little frustrating, because I think Brodie Lee, right now, I think the Dark Order is really, really strong. I'm not sure what they're doing with Cody, the Nightmare Family. His involvement with the Elite is pretty much non-existent anymore. So yeah, I don't get it. But at the same time, it was just a ridiculous match. Everyone was getting busted open. John Silver got busted open and got just destroyed, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, so this was great. It sets up interesting. I did like the way the Dark Order came out and we're shocked, because he's like this mythical creature or mythical figure to them, and for him to get taken out like that was pretty crazy. Cody obviously with the promo saying that he's never going to go heel, which is kind of weird because it almost seems like he is going to go heel then. Going to face Orange Cassidy on the anniversary edition of Dynamite, so we'll see what ends up happening there. So there you have it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Social media is down there. And as always, be safe, love each other, and bye now.